Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler. On this sixth day of April, we had the Final Four over the weekend. We've got the national championship tonight, and I've got my NFL mock draft, the final 23 to 32 teams I want to talk about as well. So it's 6:05 Monday morning on this recorded edition here. Stand by. We'll take our first and only break, and I'll be back here momentarily, and we will hit the ground running here on the Real Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then, I'm back here live. Okay, now, live on the recording. What I've come to learn over the weekend and over the past 2 seasons in the college basketball world is the national championship is not going to be led by one and dones. It's not going to be led by a flood of talented young players, first and second year players. May not necessarily be the most talented team. I thought Arizona was a lot more talented team than a Michigan, but they had 3 freshmen, and Michigan has got Linderborn, which he did get hurt in that game. He's got a sprained MCL, but this guy will be 24 in September. I mentioned it last week with Duke. I should have caught this and picked Michigan over Arizona. Total blowout. Game was a letdown. Led by 3 freshmen. The one senior guard I thought could lead them over the top. That wasn't the case. They looked like a deer in the headlights type of look. Michigan jumped on them early, stayed on them throughout the game. Same with UConn's got 5 losses. Now I thought UConn would win this game, but you think about a team like Michigan, they didn't even win their conference tournament. They lost to another veteran team that had a very good point guard, and Purdue. They lost to a Wisconsin team who got put out in the first round by High Point. And, of course, they did lose to a young Duke team who's probably more talented but was fully healthy at that time. So the Carmelo Anthony days, the led by freshman days where he won the national championship with Syracuse, those days are over with. Now that we have transfer portal NIL, I know that the president and a group of people from the college football world and college sports world had a meeting a couple of weeks ago. He's signed an executive order to limit transfers to 1 and limit how much money you can get out of NIL. That's just to get the ball rolling. He knows that's going to be shot down in courts and stuff. That's just to get the ball rolling on this. But for right now, and make it 5 years, I want to say, but for eligibility, if I'm not mistaken, that's just to get the ball rolling, to get some kind of guardrails for this, which I said that this would come when you have this NIL transfer. I said this will be the stage, like, oh my God stage. That stage has lasted a few years. Like, what are we going to do here with all this? And which I'm okay with NIL, by the way. I think they should get paid. I'm fine with it. I actually think it's spread the talent out more. But when it comes down to these tournament games, these players may not be the best team per se. They might not go on to win, to have real successful careers in the NBA or whatever. But They are a well-rounded, balanced college basketball semi-pro team, and that's what you have to take into consideration. And the fact that Michigan has also been the healthiest up to this point. Um, they're just not going to be the combined freshmen. I look down at my notes here in the Arizona game had 35 points. 3 players only had 35 points here. So this is going to be interesting, though, because Yaxel Lindenberg, leading scorer for Michigan, does have a sprained ACL. He says he's going to play tonight against UConn. We'll see how that plays out. As far as a UConn game, UConn team assisted 14-3 over Illinois. In other words, they just moved the ball better around the perimeter. Got key shots. They were out rebounded by 7, but they just got a lot of the hustle plays. Very Dan Hurley team light. They've got a very good shot to win this game tonight. Matter of fact, I think they're probably going to pull this off, and this is going to be a well of a coaching job by Dan Hurley, and maybe he's recruited again to go to the NBA. But you saw with Dan Hurley, you saw with him getting in the face of the ref. Now they claim that they know each other and everything. Well, either if you're friends or not, you do that in the NBA. Of course, they're gonna tee you up and kick you out. You definitely can't do that to the players in the NBA. He's a great fit in college. He should stay at the college game. But if they pull this off, they have a very good chance. I think they can. They can't pull off the upset over Michigan tonight because of Lindenberg's got an MCL sprain. They are also junior and senior led. They've got one freshman, and everybody else is either junior or senior. And their leading scorer is a senior there for UConn. They're not going to back down from this moment. Michigan has gotten a lot of breaks in this tournament, playing bad defensive teams and extremely young teams like Arizona. But Tennessee, they got there because of Iowa State. Had their best player was out. They had no business being in the Elite Eight. You had who else was out there? They just got break after break after break. Arizona, extremely young. Moment way too big for Arizona. You could see it. You saw it early in the game. I was like, if they don't stop this deer in the headlights, look, this is going to be over with very quickly. And as far as the women's, I don't normally talk women's. But Gino Auriemma, I've known this guy for 20-something years, watching him, and I still can't quite get his name right. Head coach for UConn women's makes a big fuss about some pregame handshake before the tip-off for the second time for Don Staley. Truth of the matter is, hey, they were undefeated this year. He thought this was going to be one of his perfect seasons, a banner seasons. He's got 12 national championships. They got beat by UConn or by South Carolina decisively by double digits. And South Carolina left everything they had on the court to beat UConn. And then they were blown out yesterday by UCLA. They were blown out by UCLA to win the national championship. So, and I know she's hollered racism when she lost, and he's hollered some kind of, now he's later apologized, put out a statement. But the truth of the matter is she's a hard competitive coach, and so is he. And sometimes they let their competitive juices turn into sore loserness. And that's my take on that. He's just being a sore loser. He went back and said, hey, there's no excuse for the way I acted. She got upset and beat. You rarely see him come out and say stuff like this when they win games. When you lose, she made some comment about I forgot what it was, like a bar fight or something like that with the way people were describing her team. But they lost the game, and she was mad because she got beat, and they got beat by Caitlin Clark, the Iowa State team, and kind of insinuating racism. So the go-to line for Staley sometimes. But I'm glad she beat Gino because he can be a jerk. He's always somewhat been a jerk, going back to the rival with Tennessee. and whatnot. He's just a sore loser. He realized it after he calmed down for a day, put a statement out. And congratulations, UCLA. They beat up on each other in UConn and South Carolina. UCLA catches a emotionally flat South Carolina team and blows them out like 20-something points, You can kind of see it happen. That's why I said UConn, if they would have played Illinois, say if they played Duke on, say, like a Thursday or Friday night and then had to play Illinois on, say, like a Sunday or a Saturday or whatever, I think that they would have lost that game because they would have been emotionally drained, but they had 5 days to get it out of their system. So that's my take on that. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's get to the NFL mock draft. And, folks, let me tell you this. After that I say my mock draft, we'll go ahead and I'll put the entire first round on my social media pages. If you don't follow me here on the Facebook, Robert Butler, it is verified now. And, of course, Robert Butler verified also on the X app. I'll have it posted. And, of course, you'll see the mock drafts posted on the YouTube as well, listed on my YouTube videos and shorts and whatnot. Okay. All righty then. Let's go with the mock draft. 23, Philadelphia. Listen, Philadelphia's Lane Johnson. He missed 8 games. He'll be 8 games last year. He's coming back, but geez, the guy's going to be 36 in May. And this may be his last season. I think, in air quotes, Caden Proctor, left tackle out of Alabama, will still be on the board. They may move him over to right. They may plug him in at left. But either way, if he's on the board, I'm saying the Eagles will take Caden Proctor, tackle out of University of Alabama. I know they need wide receiver, but the possibilities, I think they're going to move A.J. Brown between either now or after June 1st, so you can split his cap hits over 2 years. I do not think he will, and I'll be surprised. I'll put it this way: I'll be surprised if A.J. Brown is the quarterback is a wide receiver, playing wide receiver with the Eagles coming up this season in September. So Caden Proctor, Alabama tackle, need to keep that line young here and put together. He will be the 23rd pick by the Philadelphia Eagles coming up 2 weeks from Thursday, folks. Time flies. Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell him today, Julian Nerick is going to be also a guest, 3-star quarterback, college football quarterback here out of Nashville. And I forgot where he's committed, but we'll ask him. I'm going to bring him on probably after the Titans pick, and I have Coach Carroll get him done with his opinion of the Titans pick, and we'll talk to Julian Nerick. So I'll have Julian Nerick, Jason Patterson will be guests, and of course Coach Kevin Carroll, myself, and the Mad New Yorker will be hosting this draft show live on draft night. Now, listen, we get the drafts a little bit before. You will get a little bit before TV here, watching here on Sports Scope, because I follow a guy that goes to the draft every single year, and we'll get it about a minute or two beforehand. So check out Sports Scope. Big show coming up on draft night. Okay. All right. Now, Cleveland has Jacksonville's pick. Remember last year they traded their first round pick to move up to get Travis Hunter. Still need O-line help. Remember I had them taking wide receiver there in their first pick of the 6th pick there. The wide receiver out of Ohio State. I can't remember his name now, but I have them taken wide receiver early with the 6th pick, and now I had them going back to the offensive line. I think they're going to take Texas A&M guard Chade Bisconis, guard from Texas A&M. Now, he's rated a little lower than 24th, but he's a very good guard, and it's a big need for them. I mean, shoot, they cut their entire offensive line. Now, I know they've added some players now through free agency and whatnot, but they're going to need that help there. They take that guard there, Texas A&M Chad Bisconis out of to help them with that O-line with the 24th overall pick. Now, there's at 25. At this position, no over-the-top needs. They could use some youth at safety. Best available player, and this guy's a very good player. It's rated pretty high. He's actually rated a little higher than 25th as an overall prospect. But Emmanuel McNeil Warren, that's how his name is pronounced. Safety out of Toledo. He's a second-rated safety behind the one from Oregon. Behind the safety from Oregon, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo. Okay, now 26, Buffalo. Obviously, edge rusher, linebacker, biggest needs for them. They take the best available player at this point for that position. So I'm thinking Zion Young, edge rusher from Missouri, to help out with that pass rush because they're going to be doing a lot of rushing for blitzing and whatnot with this new staff and coordinator there. So I got them taking Zion Young, edge rusher from Missouri. Got to get younger on that defense. They had an old, sluggish defense last year that showed in the playoffs. They got torched in that last game, in that Denver game. Okay, San Francisco at 27. Now, I said this before, and you heard me talk about this weeks ago and 4 weeks. San Francisco with Trent Williams and his age. Looks like they've worked out something, although there still could be a move made on draft night with Trent Williams, a left tackle, because of cap issues. He's missed multiple games this year. He's like 37. I'm surprised he's still playing at the level that he is and the amount of games that he is. But I think they're going to take, again, with the tackles and the best available play. Now, Daniel Jeremiah has this guy, Clemson's Blake Miller, as the 19th ranked prospect. I do think that they're going to take Blake Miller, if he's on the board, offensive tackle out of Clemson. Blake Miller for the San Francisco 49ers, if they don't make an aggressive move and move up in the draft here. Okay, number 28, Houston. Houston, I don't think Houston has glare. I just think they need to tighten up their offense and get their coordinator and Stroud on the same page. That's what I really think their biggest needs are at this point. So they just add depth at their defensive tackle position here. It's one of their needs. They've got edge rushers, so they add the tackle. They add Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. Yeah, that's another Ohio State guy going in the first round. I made a note to myself. That is the fourth defensive player out of Ohio State that will be drafted in the first round. You got Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Abril Reese there, the edge rusher, and then now Caden McDonald, which is good, very good play. He was just overshadowed by the play of those other players there. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and that he's the tackle. He's the centerpiece there of that defense there. He goes 28th and makes that defense that much better with their edge rush help they've already got. He's the middle guy. So, hey, at one time they had the best defense in the league, and some of the stats and mainly points allowed. Very good defense. So he's adding to that. Another Ohio State player off the board at 28. Now 29. I know this guy, Jermon McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee, had an excellent pro day. But he is coming off of an ACL injury. Did not play any last year for Tennessee. Did not run at the combine. He's just now up to par, but he ran a good 4.37 coming back from that injury. And I'm saying this, he falls as a gift to Kansas City. Now, remember, this was supposed to have been the Rams pick, but they traded Trent McDuffie, and I think they also got a third pick or something. They got some more compensation for this, but they've got their first-round pick. this 29th pick, and the Chiefs, who lost 2 cornerbacks in free agency through trade and free agency because they need some cap relief there. They select Tennessee's Jermon McCoy at cornerback. So they've got a tackle field needed field with their early pick at 9, and they got Jermon McCoy, much bigger need there. Much bigger need at the 29th position. This guy's rated a little bit higher than 29th, more about closer to the 15th ranked prospect wise. I still have Delaney Messer, the other cornerback, over him because he's not injured. He's not coming off an injury. So, and that's the cornerback out of LSU. So, anyways, this would be a good get at 29 for Kansas City if Jermon McCoy is still on the board. Okay, 30. All right, Miami. This is Russell. This is Denver's pick. Remember, they traded Jalen Waddle. They traded Jalen Waddle here for this first pick here. And so Miami has the 30th pick overall. Remember, they also lost Tyreek Hill. And they took they went elsewhere early in the draft. I think they're actually the team that took that cornerback out of LSU. But I'll post all my early picks here as well, according to my mock draft, right? So I think they go with the best receiver available, Denzel Boston, wide receiver out of Washington. That's the 30th pick in the NFL draft. This is from Denver, of course, in the trade. Now, 31, New England, edge rusher, offensive tackle would be a bigger need, but the tackle, I don't think the prospect ranking is there. So I take edge rusher from Clemson, TJ Parker from Clemson at 31. All right. And then, of course, last but not least, Seattle, running back depth needed, offensive line, interior, defensive line depth. They take the best available player, and I think that'll also be a Clemson player. Peter Woods, defensive tackle, Peter Woods from Clemson at 32. And I did put a note here. I have Arizona State Jordan Tyson, who has not ran his 40 due to a hamstring injury, which is kind of a concern injury for me. If these scouts and general managers are smart, they wouldn't draft this guy in the first round. I'm sorry. I mean, 27 games in 3 seasons, 3 seasons. This guy's played 27 games. One season he only played 3 games. He's not worked out in the combine. He's not ran at his pro day or anything. I don't know if he's going to run. He's got this hamstring injury. He's got an injury history. He's talented when he's there. These guys got to get smarter, these general managers, and not take these injury-prone players in the first round. That's what cost John Robertson his job there, taking a lot of questionable players. One particular cornerback out of Virginia Tech, guy had injury problems. Tennessee takes him. I think his name was Caleb Farley, and just injured the whole time he was a Titan. It was just a total bust. If you're injured that much in college, you're probably going to get injured in the NFL. And I love Michael Penix, but it looks like that may be the case with him. And I was sold on the guy too. But hopefully Penix can come back. I like the guy. He's got a great personality, good character guy, but still. Okay, let's do a quick recap here. Always like the recap here. 23, Philadelphia, Caden Proctor, offensive tackle, Alabama. 24, Cleveland takes guard, Texas A&M, Chad Biscontis. 25, Chicago Bears take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, safety out of Toledo. 26, Buffalo takes edge rusher Zion Young from Missouri. 27, San Francisco takes offensive tackle Blake Miller out of Clemson. 28, Houston takes Caden McDonald, defensive tackle out of Ohio State. That's 28 for Houston. 29, Kansas City. This was from the trade from the Rams. Takes Tennessee cornerback Jermon McCoy. 30, the Dolphins also want to trade from Denver. Take wide receiver Denzel Boston from Washington. 31, New England takes TJ Parker, edge rusher from Clemson. And 32, Seattle takes Peter Woods, defensive tackle from Clemson. So Clemson has 2 players back-to-back here, folks. So that'll wrap it up for this morning early edition of the program. If you like the show, share the show. I'll try to be back here. I will be back here Thursday with the Mad New Yorker. We'll have a national champion by then. We'll go over this week's biggest topics, and maybe we'll talk a little bit of the NFL mock draft, do some comparables here. So have a good Monday, everybody. I'll see you then here on The Real